Alright, everyone, and welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts playing as the German Empire. So this is going to be a slightly slower episode. We've got things to do and things to build. Not like horribly slow, but we definitely have things that we need to be concerned with. Real quick, how much do... Oh, yeah, we're completely maxed out, basically. Alright, so we still got a bit before we're able to start building more. Alright, yeah. Yeah, we're currently getting the new class of destroyers out, and we're also about to finish up the last three of the Kaiser 2s. The Kaiser 3s will be coming out way later, unfortunately. But this should give us the tonnage we need to actually do what we need to do. And we're going to be operating in multiple fronts here. So what we're going to end up doing is that so the Black Sea Fleet will be handling all of this stuff down here, and then we'll use the main fleet in the Baltic to handle Spain specifically. That's the only thing that we're going to need the main fleet here for. And then, yes, let's accuse them. Okay, cool. We'll do that just to knock our relations down even more. And then the main fleet will sail over here. And then, of course, we're going to have the heavy cruiser squadron out of Pearl Harbor start messing with down south here along the coast. And then we're also going to be working on getting the other squadron of heavy cruisers, the next set of Lutzows. Oh, what the hell? Oh, yeah, okay, yep. My bad. We need to actually finish building those dreadnoughts first. Alright, let's kick this back down, start regaining us some cash. We want to stay in... Wow. Holy crap. I did not realize we were doing that well, money-wise. We'll put this up to 60%, still bring some cash in. We're actually doing fantastic economically. So that's a really good situation for us. But we need to finish these up, then we'll get the Lutzows continuing to build. But we do need to finish up the main fleets, which, actually, let me look at this. Alright, so, yeah, these guys, they're still far enough off at this point in time. Basically, what we're gonna do is we're gonna use the rest of this decade to prep for the confrontation with the Americans, and then hopefully be able to just steamroll through them. Like, I want to just steamroll the Americans and just completely gut them. Take as much territory as we can. You know, the I have a sneaky suspicion, and this is how I'm going to play this out. I want to take everything that the Americans have outside of the Western Hemisphere. So I want to take everything in Africa. I want to take Spain. I want to take everything they got over here. I want to take all of that primarily. Like, that's my main focus. And then I also want to use this squadron here in Pearl Harbor to start harassing down here in South America. And if we can take all the way up to the coastline here to El Salvador, take all of this. And then in regards to Brazil here, yeah, we're gonna need the battleships to handle this. So what we'll do is we'll have the battleships handle Spain, and then they'll come down here and handle Brazil, and then they'll ship up this way. And then we're going to just park those heavy cruisers off the western coast of the U.S. and they're going to just harass. I might, yeah. Because I don't want to use ships that I don't have to use. Because there's no point in putting more tonnage in the water than we really have to. Because, for obvious fucking reasons. Now, is everything going to be on sea control, like the main fleets? Are they all going to be on sea control so they're patrolling and doing what they need to do? Yes, absolutely. but I don't want to actually have to put the ships out to sea, and I just want to keep them in dock if I don't have to bring them out. Alright, so... Alright, those are done. Let's go ahead and queue these bad boys back up. Can we queue these guys back up as well? Yes, we can. Very nice. Alright, so that will finish that up. And then let's go ahead and... So, Kronstadt, Novosibirsk, Vladivostok. Okay, so those are the destroyers accompanying those ships. And then we need to build out another 10 to accompany the main fleet out of Pillau and Danzig. Alright, cool. There we go. So that covers all of our needs there. And then... Now, in regards to putting destroyers out into the water, I want to create a combat destroyer class that has mines that I can put into strategically important ports. And so, you know, or, well, you know, actually, I don't think it will matter all that much, honestly speaking. So, frankly, we probably don't need to do that. We can just do fleet destroyers. But these destroyers, like, by themselves, like a group of 3 or 4 or 5 of them, they might be good, but at the same time, I would really like a 1,500-ton destroyer that actually has some range to it. So, it looks like the Netherlands is actually going to lose Belgium, which kind of sucks because we would have loved to have taken them, but it is what it is. Oh yeah, and we got Korea to worry about too. So we're going to have to... so we're going to have a lot to do over here. And then Netherlands, of course. So yeah, we're just going to have a lot to fucking invade. We're going to paint the map real good come this next war. Alright. So let's go ahead and blow through this as quickly as we can. Actually, let me what's our overall capabilities looking like? So we're looking at we're just under 700,000 tons right now. Naval power rating, of course, is ass, but that's because we don't have anything in the water right now. I'm actually tempted to create a small, like, destroyer escort style ship that we can put in our ports. Actually, let me look at that. Let me look at that. I'm gonna play around with this idea a little bit. So 1,000-tonner. So what if we have something like really small like this? What can we do? Let's go 30 knots. Let's go that. I want it to be relatively cheap. So let's go crop 1. I want double bottom. I want some survivability. But I want it to be as cheap as possible. then let's go ahead and let's throw advanced mine layer on there. Oh, wow. That's... Oh, my God. That's so expensive. Ah. That's so fucking expensive. Holy crap. Yeah, that's... Okay, well... Leave it that. Let's give it 3.9s. And again, this is meant to be like a replacement for our torpedo boats. And let's just refer to this as yeah, we'll just call this DE1. So this will be Destroyer Escort 1, and it's, again, supposed to be a cheaper alternative. We could potentially go less guns and go bigger guns. Maybe go that route. Hold on, let's check that idea out. So what happens if we go cheaper? Or less guns, but bigger guns? You know, competent torpedoes, less guns. Let's give it... Let's just give it Barbette 1. Go ahead and put that up to 5.5. So 8.1, 9.7. So it is a cheaper alternative. Gives us an overall displacement of 880 tons. So it's very minimalistic. They're going to be short range. They're going to be slightly slower. Okay, so actually these are 30 knot. But these are also... They're also going to get relegated as well when time comes. So... Yeah, so I think... You know what? Yeah, let's roll with this. Because I want something that can act more like a torpedo boat. What's the range on the torpedoes on this thing? Hold on. Range on the torpedo is 6.2 kilometers. So they're definitely a lot longer range than my torpedo boats. Yeah, okay. We're gonna go this route. So I want to test this. I want to test this idea out. I'm gonna do it. So these guys, as soon as we're done building the destroyers we need for the fleet itself. So of course, you know, we've got I already built the ones for... Whoopsie. I didn't realize I had actually built those already. Oops. So yeah, as soon as these are done finishing up, we'll start producing these. And then we'll just get rid of our torpedo boats and start cycling these bad boys in. They want a Kaiser 2. I'm pretty sure I'm already building another two battleships for... Yeah, I'm already building 2 battleships for the foreign market right now, so it is what it is. It's a little annoying, but I'll suck it up for right now. We're about to finish up a bunch of other stuff too, so I'm not that worried about it. So right now we're sitting at 15. We got another 5 heavy cruisers that we want to build to finish out the second series of armored cruisers that we're building. We also want to start the refit programs for our other ships. So for our other dreadnoughts and whatnot. But we really can't do that with these 3 dreadnoughts in our queue. So... Actually, you know what? I'm not going to build any more armor cruisers, I think. I think I'll just stick with the 5 Lutzos. And then later. Because we do want to get to battlecruisers. Because battlecruisers will... So, large armored cruiser. I wonder what that haul is. We'll check that out here in a second. We're bringing in more money. Let's go ahead and jack up crew training a little bit more. We're in the red, but that will solve itself instantaneously. Canada wants a Bavaria class. No. I would love to build you ships, but at the same time, I'm wanting to build new ships as well. Let's go ahead and we'll do them in packs of 30 to start, I think. Yeah, we'll do them in 30s. So we do want to determine a few of these go into specific locations. So like the first 5 I want going into Helgoland, because Helgoland is strategically important for protecting some of our ports. I also want Tsingtao. I also want Riga. So this protects our ports on the North Sea. This protects Tsingtao and that area up there. This protects the Baltic. We're just, you know, we're putting some predetermined squadrons in certain areas. And then I want 5 of these to be in Magadan. And then I want another 5 in Murmansk. And then another 5 in... Oh, I forgot I had control of Sweden. Shikaku. That's where I want those 5. All right, so see if these things are at all useful, which I wouldn't see why not. And let's go ahead and decommission our torpedo boats. Now, the reason why I'm decommissioning the torpedo boats is that at this point in time, you know, they just don't bring enough to the fight overall. And also just cleans up our registry. Now, real quick, I'm curious to know how much in tonnage did we lose? Well, it doesn't matter. We still have a lot more tonnage than we started with. But yeah, we'll go ahead and throw some of those around. We also need to put a pack of them in the Black Sea. Probably should put a pack of them down here as well. So yeah, we got places to put them. So actually, you know what? From here, I think I'll build them. You know, after building those dedicated squadrons for those dedicated areas, I'll go ahead and just start letting the AI populate them. I think I'll end up building probably about 100 of the DE ones. And then we also, later on, we'll have to design a new mine layer, but I'm not concerned about the mine layer right now. We'll design that after we start conquering new territories. And then we also have this new hull that I want to take a look at. Because I have a good feeling this might be our first modern cruiser hull. Oh, it's this big boy. Okay. So this is actually kind of an interesting ship because, so for Battlecruiser fans, this is actually like one of the first examples of a battlecruiser that the Germans get. It's actually kind of cool. And with its overall stability, it can handle bigger guns. Now, the question is, do I go with 9-inch guns on it? Go very Italian battlecruiser setup for it? Is that what we're potentially looking at here? Let's go ahead and check it out. Let's see what we can do with this thing. What's the, so 25 knots. Now the question becomes, how much armor can we put on this thing? That is the big question. So it maxes out at 6 inches on the main belt. Which, if we do a 6-inch belt all the way around, we go 3, 2, 2, and let's say 8. It kind of sucks it only has the one launcher. I wonder what would happen if I built this at max. Because at max, this thing... Okay, so it still only gets 1. But maximum displacement, this thing actually kind of fucks. Because that's a lot of room for activities. That's a lot of room for fucking activities. Like, in reality, you could potentially do something like this at max displacement. Where we do... We do something like this, go like very Russian on it. Because, like, there's a lot of nations build ships like this. But, like, as a super light battlecruiser... I wonder at max displacement, could I do triple barrels on this bad boy? Now that would be king shit if I could. Oh my lord, that would be... Oh, brother. Brother, that is excellent. That is most excellent. Hold on, I gotta look at something real quick. Okay. Sorry, I was checking something on my settings. Okay, we could definitely play around with this, but first form of it is definitely going to be a... That 4 offset is horrible, though. Is that 4 offset due to it being triple barreled? Yeah, I think that 4 offset is from it being triple barreled up front. Because if I turn this down to a dual barrel, I bet it doesn't really actually change all that much. So honestly speaking, we could go triple barrel across the board. Let's tech it out a little bit and let's see what we can do. Oh yeah, that's right. We have semi-oil now. I completely forgot about semi-oil. Whoops. Well, It's okay. Our other ships will survive. Let's go Barbette 2 on this, just to save us some heartache. HE. The question is, these are 9 by 36. So what happens if I bring it down to 9 by 35? So in regards to the weapons envelope, the weapons envelope is really tight. Oh man, this weapons envelope's actually kind of fucking dope. I wonder if I can improve. Oh no. Yeah, I don't really want to stretch that citadel any more than I have to. But that weapons envelope, you know, 15.4 max range, 16.3 max range, 14.7. So everything's within like 2 kilometers of one another. Like, so this weapons envelope is really tight and would be able to engage really fucking well. Now, the ammunition overall is really, really small. Like, this is definitely not one of those ships that has a lot of staying power, but it has capability. Now, the question becomes, would it be cheaper to produce this or to produce a battlecruiser? Because depending on what battlecruiser hull we get first, this might be a better option. But in reality, I can produce these now. I can't produce battlecruisers now. So now we could tighten up this a little bit. If we were to minus this gun, tighten up the... We could increase this... do that, and then if we were to throw, say, some 5.5s and turrets here, we could decrease the amount of main battery for some secondary battery. These actually have longer range than... I want them to be almost exactly the same as our other... Okay, yeah, there we go. So, we could do this, and it actually dropped the cost quite a bit, and we even got the engine efficiency way up. So, you know what? Light battlecruiser thing? Yeah, fuck it. Let's try it out. Let's see how she does. I have kind of high hopes for it, to be frank. Like, she's double the cost of the Bavaria, but has much bigger guns and a lot more of them. Secondary battery wise, it's very comparable to... Actually, it's in some ways better than both the Bavaria and the Lutzow, because the Bavaria, or the Steyr in this case, the Steyr, whatever the fuck it is, has a bunch more 5.5s and then a bunch of 3.9s versus the Bavaria's 3.9s. Like, this has a bunch of 5.5s, but the Lutzow, for example, doesn't. It has a bunch of 4.7s. Yeah, you know what? Let's give her a fucking let's give her a toss. Let's see how she does. We're gonna have to build those later though, because we still have the 3 Lutzows to build, so we still need to wait on those. So we are. Well, the Adranes are finishing up, so we'll be able to free up some tonnage to start building more ships. So we'll build 5 of those, 5 of the Styres, and then you guys will get to know, like, hey, is this a good little idea? Is it a competent idea? And I hope it turns out to be. Holy shit! Look at that! The army's actually doing something. Holy fuck! The army actually fucking doing their jobs? Oh my god! Holy crap! It's a miracle! I wasn't just asking you guys to do that 5 years ago, you fucking twat waffles. Well, hopefully we take it. There's a bunch of territory that we could be securing across the board. Galicia is important, though, because it has oil, so it's definitely going to be good to bring that under our control. I'm really surprised by our inaction in fucking Africa. Like, we have not taken anything extra in Africa from our via our colonies. It's really weird. All right, so that's good to go. We're still waiting on the 5-inch gun from this, so we still got a fucking while on that. And then these finish up next turn. Boom, 1909. That finishes that up. So now we're just waiting on the last 3 Lutzows. No, I'm not building you a fucking Kaiser at that fucking pitiful amount. Let's go ahead and we're gonna build 5 of them. I think that's just gonna be our normal thing at this point in time. Let's build 5 or build ships in a series of 5 like that. Let's go ahead and put these in Bremen, or should I do Emden? Emden is we should incentivize. Well, Bremen. We'll just put them in Bremen. Fuck it. And then let's go ahead and suspend. Yeah, we can fit one more. We can fit one more in the queue. All right, cool. That will get us. Oh, and we're taking this quickly, so that's good. Yeah, because we got a shit ton of oil on the table right now, and we really should be taking it. We got Kazakhstan, we got Turkmenistan. We just really need to be taking all this. Fucking Korea's on a tear. Holy shit. Alright. So, yeah, we're just continuing to bulk up at this point in time. We are catching up to Britain, GDP-wise. And we have surpassed the Americans in tonnage pretty hard. So, like, we got a lot more in the way of... Well... Actually, by the time we finish building all these cruisers, we'll have comparable cruiser count. Like, they'll have some extra cruisers on us, but we have 6 more fucking battleships than them. So, we're definitely doing good in that department. Advanced Navy drills, very nice. Brings our total available... or total capability of our fleets way up. Like, 12,000 mark, basically, you start to get really fucking good. We need this to definitely progress faster. I know, somebody's probably bitching at me, like, oh, small guns, why are you focusing? I need the fucking Mark III 5.5s. That's all I need is I need those Mark IIIs so that I can do these refits and not waste time on having and leave the better secondary batteries on the table. We're gonna turn this back up to 75%. 11 million in the black, or in the red. That's fine. That's fine. Guaranteeing our crew development is a better fucking investment than anything. Minehunter kit, so that's an improvement there. Oh my God, we're starting. Yes, go, my children, go, take territory. We're finally taking some of this territory. Oh my God, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. We're now making yearly oil production 987,000 barrels, almost 1 million barrels a year per capita. That is, or I don't know if that's per year. That might be per month. I don't know. But, the Americans have us on that, but of course it's the Americans. The French have us, but barely. Like, we are going to balloon in the oil department very quickly if we take these territories. Which is just going to be fucking mint. Yeah, I'll build you that destroyer. Alright. Alright, these are all commissioning. Very nice. Which means we can come in here, actually. And let's queue up another... We have room for at least 40. So let's go ahead and queue up those 40. And then these will just get disseminated through our nation. I'm not gonna concern myself with actually placing them. Just let them get distributed. We've got the stuff that I care about, like just securing our overall more vital areas. Oh my God, we're starting to take all the territories that we haven't been taking. Yes, army, go. Go, my children. Go forth and be fruitful. Can we take Hungary so I can have have a land bridge between Romania and the home territories? Are we actually taking this? No, not right now, but that's fine. Oh, come on. Actually take it. Oh, there's Battlecruiser 1, actually. So let's go ahead and check out Battlecruiser 1. Like, I'll still build this stair because fuck it. Hey, not like it's a waste of money. Okay, so this is literally just a bigger version of what we got from that cruiser. So, so it's got 1 knot faster. We have a more advanced tower, I think, or that might be the same tower as that cruiser. I'm not sure. Armor-wise, what can we get armor-wise? So we can almost get a 9-inch belt on this. So, all right. So let's do the armor profile. That's, kind of the same. Now with our Battlecruiser, so our Dreadnoughts are armed with 13-inch guns, and we cannot fit 13-inch guns on this bad boy. So can we potentially fit the 11-inchers? Okay, so we can fit the 11-inchers. Now, the question is, can we... Okay. I don't really want to expand the profile too much, but for the sake of sake of this, I will expand the profile. So then we can bring this back in. We can bring this back in. Very Russian. Very, very Russian. Alright. So 5.5s. Now some of you might be like confused by that. Like, why do I continue using 5.5s when I can go bigger? Because 5-inch guns are great. There's no real reason to go to anything higher than 5 on secondaries. Now, yes, you could go 6 and get even better performance if you want to, but I don't see the point. Alright, so let's see what we can do with this for relative cost's sake. So that's teched out. Oh, we can get a little bit extra armor on it. Holy crap, this thing is expensive. I want to bring these down just slightly. Okay. So 11 by 45s. We still got a 21 kilometer range, so still good range. It just tightens up that envelope just a little bit. All right, so So let's do the comparison. So basically this thing is, for all intents and purposes, it's double the cost of one of these cruisers. Now we're getting an extra 5 or 6,000 tonnage out of it. So we're getting an extra knot. We're getting 6,000 extra tons. We're getting bigger guns, and we're getting more bigger guns. Secondary battery wise, so the same number of secondaries in the casements, a little extra on the 3.9s by 2. We're removing the turret 5.5s, but we're gaining an extra triple 11-inch battery, so that's definitely a nice trade-off. And then we're also getting a little extra armor out of it. So, is it worth double the cost? I couldn't say. Now, in regards to the cost versus the Kaiser 3, is it worth? It's definitely a cheaper option. That's for certain. And what this allows us to do is we can add these into our overall fleet as more independent ships that are faster and able to attack stuff independently. So these could be, I could build like 2 of these, put them here, 2 of them, put them there, so on and so forth. So these are definitely a good supplemental option to the Kaisers. Now, they're half the tonnage of the Kaiser 3, for example. They're more in line with the tonnage of the Kaiser 1. They're still 4,000 tons lighter, but, crew complement-wise, though, this is the big thing, is the crew complement of this battlecruiser is lighter than the Kaiser 1 by basically 200. So it's definitely a lighter crew complement overall. I think there's a place for this in our fleet doctrine. Does this mean this steer isn't good. No, no, the steer is definitely going to be good. I definitely think this is going to perform very well. But I think this ship right here could definitely, it can fit within the profile of our Navy. And I completely forgot to rename it. I like to classify the capitals. The sub-capitals I don't really care about. They can have the names that they have. What do we want to call this thing? Actually, hold on. Let me look something up real quick. Do, 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 do. Okay, so we will refer to this as the Koenig 1. So, for those who don't know, Kaiser is emperor, Koenig is king. Emperors rule over kings. So, like, the king of Bavaria would be subservient to the Kaiser of Germany, for example, so on and so forth. So we will refer to these as the Koenig line of ships. So we will go ahead and save, and then we can go ahead and just get rid of this. But yes, I do believe that these ships have a place within our overall doctrine. I do believe. Again, these are the, you know, we're going to go out and fuck with the enemy ships while, you know, the enemy is... And honestly speaking, 2 of these, you know, can do a lot because there's a lot of ports that they could assault themselves. So these can operate in a much more flexible fashion. So we'll definitely be building those. We just need to finish up the construction on other stuff that we're building as well. Okay, so hopefully we're going to be taking that and... Oh, fuck. Our army strength is apparently dog shit. $2.5 million men under arms, and yet we are dedicating pitiful number of forces to this stuff. What is going on? Why? What is happening, people? Alright, so we do have some tonnage available, so let's go ahead and start queuing up our battlecruisers. We'll build a pair to go... this first set of Koenigs we'll go ahead and put in... you know what? We'll use Hamburg. Yeah, we'll use Hamburg for them. And then... of course. Why do you suck, Army? Why do you suck? Why are you so bad at your job? Real quick, let's go ahead and take a look at... So we got 4 months left on those. We got those commissioning. Actually, do we have the extra tonnage to potentially start doing those? You know what? We're finishing up this Kaiser 3 in 2 months, so I will go ahead and wait until those are finished. No, or it just finished. It just finished. So, it's kind of funny because the loot cells, we haven't even finished them yet, and they're technically obsolete. But we're just going to keep them. We're just gonna keep them for right now. we're just gonna go along with it. And then these 4 months. All right. And then do we have any extra? We do have extra tonnage. We do. Potentially build 2 more Koenigs. Potentially. No, we cannot. All right. Well, these bad boys are going to go into Yokosuka. Or, no, they will go into Tokyo. We'll put them in Tokyo. Yeah, these invasions have completely fallen flat. Oh, my lord. Stupid army. They do one thing right, and then they fuck it up. Oh, hey, yeah, no, I will totally take a free percent of free point of GDP and naval budget from the Americans. I will happily do it. All right, let's just roll through these turns a little bit. No. Fuck off, Britain. Alright. That next run of DDs is done. Go ahead and we'll queue up the 2 battlecruisers, or restart the battlecruisers, and then we will build more destroyers. All right, resume. Oh yeah, it tells me how many I have here. We have, so I want to build 30 more. Give us a nice even 100 of these escorts. And again, these things are meant to protect trade and so on and so forth. So that's their whole purpose. And it looks like we're getting a decent spread on them. Yeah, it looks like we're getting a decent spread, so I'm not too upset about this. And 100 of them is gonna provide decent coverage, so not at all. Now, what would be nice would be a cheap cruiser. Well, actually, in reality, our current cruisers are... Well, the Adrane is competent. I wonder if I can... Actually, you know what? I just thought of something. Because this hull's not maxed out. I might be able to do a new like cruiser hull as well, and then put those cruisers out there. Oh no, it is maxed out. So it's the light cruiser 4 that we have now. Which the light cruiser 4 is optimized by the looks of it for 6-inch guns. But if we were to put 5-inch guns on it, actually raises a question. What would it look like? Why is it so heavy? What's making... Oh, it was the engine. Oh, what's the max speed on 27? Okay, it was the engine size that was causing it to be so ridiculous. Okay, I was like, what is going on here, bud? Oh my. And we can put a bunch of... Oh my god, we can put a bunch of secondaries on it. Wow. Now, in reality, what I think this ship is meant to do is something like this. So, something like this, where you have these bigger guns. I wonder, can I put the... So I could put the bigger guns on there. Would have less guns, but they would be bigger. Huh, interesting. Alright, well, we can't build it anyway, so it's not like it's a big deal. But... I could cycle out the Amazons, put the Amazons out to forward stations, build Adranes to replace the Amazons, and then have 4 deployed light cruisers for merchant protection. Could do that. Could most certainly do that. Think that might be the play I make, but that would rely on the Adrane staying relevant until I finish what I'm building, because we still got we got so much shit we're building right now. And I love the fact that we're building a fucking Kaiser 2 and we have 4 battlecruisers queued. Like we actually have a lot fucking queued up. But I think the army fucking this up so hard for me. Like, it makes no fucking sense. Alright, so... honestly speaking, I don't think I should do this. Like, I don't think I should really do much more with my shipyard size. Because I'd rather jack all this money into here. I'd rather just do more with this than with this, because this 66,000, that's I'm gonna be able to build perfectly competent large ships later. Like, there's no reason for me to be worried about that. Alright, well, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up here. Again, as I said, a little bit of a boring video. We're just looking over designs, and we're trying to decide what we're going to do. And, you know, we're developing the fleet and so on and so forth. The Kaiser 3s, I'm gonna start building after. So I think I'm going to put 2, 2, 2. I think that's what I'm going to do. Is I'm going to build 6 battle cruisers that can operate expeditiously. Actually, do I have an extra port that I could potentially put the battle cruisers in over here? Not really. Actually, putting a couple battle cruisers in fucking Pearl Harbor would be nice. Like, it really sucks that, you know, Pearl Harbor isn't developed enough at this point in time. Like, I really wish it was more developed, but putting a couple battle cruisers out in Pearl Harbor, be able to fucking just harass the shit out of the U.S. West Coast with ships that can actually hurt shit, yeah, that'd be nice. Be real nice. And then... oh, yeah, we have to worry about this shit up here, too. I almost completely forgot about it. But that is going to be for the next video. We're on the precipice of war with the Americans, so I'm going to be very happy to start conquering them. So I will talk to you guys later in the next video. Also, make sure to keep eye out on Wednesday. We are going to have another Wednesday video coming out. It's a game preview, so I hope you guys enjoyed that as well. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.